everybody, Grid21 back for another video. And today, in light of the fact I was trying to fix a laptop today, I thought I would talk about some of the gear that I use, some of the tools I use for fixing stuff, taking things apart, organizing cables, etc. So I've got my tool bag here, and I'm just going to go through the various parts I have on here. So excuse me while I turn the camera down like so, and I'll just place the various parts I have on the table here so you can see what I've got. So on the top here, first thing I have is twist ties. I can never have enough twist ties with the fact I work on computers a lot. It's always great to have twist ties to organize cables, just pull things together really quickly. So I collect them, which I know sounds crazy, but I do. I do have zip ties, but twist ties are really easy to have on hand, just really quick and dirty. So that's what I've got there. So that's that. Next thing I've got is a voltmeter and accessories. So this allows me to probe electronics when I want to see if there's any voltage on them. I recently used my voltmeter on a laptop to see if there was voltage coming to a plug. So I use a voltmeter to check that, obviously. And then there's actually a little temperature sensor in here, which allows me to check the, obviously, temperature of something. I use that for when I want to know the temperature inside a computer case, what the ambient temperature is, what the heat output is. So those are kind of important information. This is a multi voltmeter, so it does like current, it does ohm voltage, it does DC and AC voltage, and a variety other types of checking stuff, and even has two different types of plugs based on what it is that you're checking. So that's what I have for those things. Next set of stuff I've got various sorts of pliers and wire cutters. Again, obvious reasons, good to have stuff, cutting wires, getting small parts I can't really get a hold of with my large hands, as it were. So I've got those in there. Next set of stuff I've got zip ties, a whole collection of zip ties. Like I mentioned earlier, I've got twist ties, but I have zip ties if I want to create a more permanent placing for something, so they're just easy to grab and, you know, obviously zip them together and stuff. So that's in my tool bag. The other thing I've got that I use a lot is these mini screwdriver set that I've gotten here. They have a variety of sizes, as well as a paper clip that I've shaped into an L shape. Surprisingly, actually very helpful, so I just keep it in here as one of those little mini tool things. I really wish I had an iFixit, to be honest, because there's some cases where these types of screws are not right for the job and I need more specialized screws. So eventually look into getting one of that, and then I'll stop using these. I'll just have them as a spare, but for the meantime, they're good to have, and I enjoy having that on my supply. Shrink tubing, if I ever have to do any soldering, I have shrink tubing to secure wires. I recently used that not too long ago to work on some LED strips where I had to, the wires are very thin, and I use shrink tubing to secure them in place so they wouldn't go, coming off and stuff. It's just an assortment of different sizes of shrink tubing and such. Very handy to have. The next thing I've got is my soldering iron, so I keep that in my tool bag. This one's actually pretty cool because I have different wattages, ranging from 20, 30, 40, and 50 at max, so it's really great, works very well. I've used it several times. I haven't had it that long, but it is always great to have, and I use it on very rare occasions and stuff, so good to have. I actually have a little soldering iron holder that actually doesn't fit in this bag, but I do have it, and I use that occasionally for obvious reasons. So with that, I also have my wire strippers, and they range in size from the very large wires down to like the very small. So for doing small wiring, it goes from 10 gauge all the way down to 18, and then I guess does a little bit smaller as well. So very helpful to have. I've used them a couple of times. I don't use it often, but it is always good to have, always handy. Every toolkit should have wire strippers at some point in time. Next I've got, let's see, I've got little Velcro zip ties. I've got a little soldering iron mount, although this one is not as good as the other one that I have, that I much prefer, because the other one I have has a whole cage around it to protect you so you don't burn yourself on it. This one came with the variable wattage one that I have, so it's alright. I don't use it, but it's there as a backup. These I use constantly for if I want to go in between. I want to zip tie it permanently, but maybe I want to undo it later or readjust it as the amount of wires gets larger and stuff. I use these in computers more often than not. So there's that. The other sets of tools I have, more zip ties, just some spare extra ones I've got. The other set I've got is the sticky mount ones. So this is actually foam tape, so this is good for if I want to mount something and I need double-sided foam tape, so that's always helpful to have. I also have lots of solder. You can never have too much solder, so there are different gauges. I picked these up at Radio Shack. This one was a spare one that my dad gave me, so I just have extra solder of different sizes. This would probably go along with the other. I should have shown these with my can't think what the word is right now, but this is for grabbing small screws. So it's got like a little claw thingy. This one again is like small tweezers, which I use sometimes as well. And oh, this is powdered graphite. I don't use it that much, but it's always good to have. So that's my toolkit as a whole, or my tool bag rather. So just post a comment below, and if you've got a small tool bag like I do, what do you keep in it? What do you use? What do you repair the most? This is just parts that I use every now and then, and it's always good to have. I try to keep my tool bag stocked with everything. I call them sort of like my house tools because of what I often repairing in the house and stuff. So that's my tool bag. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was interesting. Tell me what you guys store in your small tool bag or tool chest, whatever you got. And yeah, thanks for watching. Comment if you've got comments. Like and subscribe to my channel and stuff. And you can check out my Twitch page, my Twitter, and everything else that I have. Other than that, I'll catch you guys later.